All right, so get this. You know how we were talking about uh, Rugby World Cup hosts and how they get picked?
Yeah.
Well, you sent me some stuff,
Hmm.
and wow.
Oh, yeah. I was curious what you'd think.
It's like we got our hands on World Rugby's playbook or something.
Seriously. It's pretty interesting.
General strategy notes, and then boom, this press release drops with a crazy announcement.
They announced a lot all at once, didn't they? 5.
5 World Cup hosts.
Yeah.
Usually it's like one at a time,
Yeah. Makes you wonder why they did that.
Exactly. So that's what this deep dive is all about. We're going to dig into what these choices
Yeah.
tell us, right? Like, what's World Rugby trying to do with the future of the sport?
It's like a roadmap, almost.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so first things first, these internal notes. They lay out some pretty big goals. It's all about growing the game globally, working closely with host nations, being efficient, with their resources.
Making sure things are affordable, too.
Right, and then getting fans super excited about rugby. And, of course, investing money back into the sport.
Seems like they're thinking long term, wouldn't you say? Not just about putting on a good tournament, but actually building the sport.
Totally. But hold on. What does all this mean for the average rugby fan listening to this?
Well, it's like this. These decisions, these hosts they pick, they're going to have a big impact for years to come,
Okay, yeah,
Like dominoes. One thing leads to another.
right. And get this. The next 5 World Cups are going to be in England, Australia, and wait for it, the USA.
A very interesting mix, to say the least.
The Women's Cup is in England in 2025. Then it's off to Australia for both the men's and women's in 2027 and 2029. And then, bam, the USA gets both the men's and women's in 2031 and 2033. Crazy, right?
Having the U.S. host twice in a row, both the men's and women's, that's never happened before.
I know. What do you think that means?
I think they're really serious about trying to grow the sport in a market where, rugby isn't the top dog.
Yeah, I mean, the U.S. is huge.
Yeah.
Lots of people. And they've got Major League Rugby now, so it's getting more popular. But, can rugby really compete with American football and basketball and baseball?
It's a big question, isn't it? It's a gamble for sure. Kind of like when the NBA started trying to become more global.
Oh, yeah, like taking basketball to new countries.
Exactly. It takes time. You have to invest money, build up a fan base, and you need some luck along the way.
Makes sense. And what about Australia? Back-to-back World Cups. That's got to be significant, right?
Oh, absolutely. Australia has such a strong rugby history. They've got amazing stadiums, and they're really good at hosting big sporting events.
Yeah, they've got it down to a science.
This choice, I think it's about really cementing rugby in a place where people already love it.
So it's like 2 different strategies, right? England and the U.S., it's about breaking into new markets. Australia, it's about solidifying an existing market. But both are about growth. Yeah.
Exactly. 2 sides of the same coin.
Now, these notes keep talking about a partnership approach with the host nations. What's that all about?
Well, I think it's about making sure everyone benefits. It's a win-win. The host nation gets things like an economic boost from all the visitors, maybe some new infrastructure, stadiums, that sort of thing, and they get to show themselves off to the world.
Yeah, put themselves on the map.
Exactly. And then for World Rugby, it's about, working with local experts who know the country, sharing resources, and really making the tournament a success.
Like a team effort, basically.
Exactly.
Okay, that makes sense. Now, what about the money? These notes talk about World Rugby wanting to invest more back into the game at all levels.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one. Hosting these tournaments, it brings in a lot of money.
From tickets, merchandise, sponsors, all that.
Exactly. And that money can be used to, fund development programs around the world, maybe build new facilities in places where rugby is just starting to grow. Plus, when you improve the facilities in the host country, it benefits everyone there, from kids playing in local parks to the national team.
Makes sense. It's like an investment in the future of the sport.
Yeah, exactly.
But, hey, we can't forget about the fans, right? World Rugby wants to create this festival atmosphere, celebration of rugby, and showcase the best players in the world. How do you think these different host countries will approach that?
Interesting question. I think each one will bring something different to the table. England. They've got such a long rugby tradition. The fans are so passionate. I expect it'll be a pretty electric atmosphere, Very traditional.
Yeah, like a classic rugby experience.
Exactly. Australia, on the other hand, I think they might focus more on the fun, outdoor lifestyle, Maybe incorporate some of their beach culture, make it a big party.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
And the USA. Well, they like to do things big and bold.
They're not afraid to make a splash.
Exactly. I think they'll try to make it a real spectacle. Try to grab the attention of people who maybe haven't watched rugby before.
It's like 3 different marketing approaches, right? Each one tailored to a specific audience. Fascinating. So if we step back and look at the big picture, what are the key takeaways here?
Well, it seems pretty clear to me that World Rugby is on a
A
mission.
mission to grow the game.
Exactly. And they're using these host selections, these countries, as a way to do that. They're balancing proven markets like England and Australia with a riskier move into the US. And it's all about partnerships, working together and investing in the future of the sport.
It's ambitious, that's for sure.
It is. And it makes you wonder, how is this all going to play out? Will this expansion into new markets be successful? Will it change the balance of power in World Rugby?
Will rugby become truly global, or will it stay mostly in those traditional rugby countries?
Those are the big questions. And, only time will tell.
Yeah,
But it's going to be exciting to watch it all unfold.
lots to think about, that's for sure. Well, there you have it. That's our deep dive into World Rugby's strategy for the future. It's bold, it's ambitious. It'll be really interesting to see what happens.
I agree. Definitely one to keep an eye on.
Keep exploring, think about these questions, and we'll catch you on the next deep dive.
See you then.